What is going on today, guys? It is Ant from Ant's Retro Game Armory. Today we're going to be doing a review of the 8BitDo Micro. I just recently picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for like 10 bucks, so I'm excited to get started with using it. There's really two primary uses for it for a retro gamer. One might not be so obvious, so hang on to the end where I explain it more, but the first is obviously to play some retro games. So this 8BitDo Micro works with Nintendo Switch, as well as any Android-based operating system. So that does include some of your retro gaming handhelds, depending on what you're running. But this really compact, awesome controller has 16 buttons on it. That even includes shoulder buttons. Now, I don't think I'd be trying to utilize these R2 and L2 buttons here as we jump right into the layout, but I think the L and R buttons are pretty accessible. Although you have to be kind of strong with it, so you got to hold it a certain way as well. So we'll go through more of the layout, and then we're going to do some play tests, which are going to include Mario Kart Super Circuit, the Bugs Bunny. I'm trying to patent the Bugs Bunny test here on the D-pad, and the last game is going to be Turtles in Time on NES. So this has your standard layout with your D-pad and your 4-player buttons. So as a real quick comparison for the Game Boy Color, the D-pad is about the same size. The arrows are obviously smaller, which I was a little bit surprised about as far as the D-pad, but that's about the same size. The buttons, the action buttons here, are certainly smaller than your Game Boy Color, but with real estate's at a prime on this microcontroller. So that is a general size comparison. We have some other buttons here, a plus and minus button, which I believe can be probably used for volume. Favorite button, and this is like the connection button. That's like the 8BitDo button for connecting it to, or basically connecting it to your Bluetooth devices and mapping the keys. So on the bottom here, we got a few things going on. This is going to be your connection button. This is going to be your switch for the Nintendo Switch, your Android and your keyboard mode. And then there is a lanyard hole here for a lanyard. So real quickly, I'll talk about the lanyard. The lanyard is pretty large in this nice blue color, but I can't see anyone really wearing it around their wrist. Maybe if you used it for kids, which I do think would be a good use case for this controller. But the other thing I was thinking of for this lanyard is you could easily tether it to somewhere inside your bag, like a loop or your zipper, so it doesn't get lost in your bag. So that's something I thought of that you could use this for. So getting right into it, we'll go ahead and start talking about how you connect this controller to your devices. So right off the bat, it does not work organically with iOS devices. You may have known that or noticed that I didn't mention that. However, it does work with Delta Emulator on iOS, so that's how we're going to be play testing the games through that system. So connection with this is really easy. The directions provided are real basic, but basically this 8BitDo button is basically the power button, and then you go ahead and set your mode, then press this Bluetooth button here, and off screen here it just connected up to my iMac. So that's pretty good, pretty easy, really seamless. So we'll go ahead and briefly talk about the 8BitDo app and how to program your keys before we hop into our gameplay. So the app you're going to need to download is called the Ultimate Software by 8BitDo. You can find that on your app store. But what I'm showing here is that the keys can be pretty much programmed to be used as a keyboard, which is really useful for artists and other uses. Maybe you could click your slides in a business meeting with your 8BitDo Micro. That would be pretty interesting. But anyway, what's shown here is you can connect this to your app. You can set up your different hotkeys for different functions as shown here. And you can also set up profiles. So I'll show you how I use it, because I realized in the middle of this, I am an artist since I make pixel art for my Game Boy games. And you can basically set up a profile for your different programs that you use. So that will be done all in this app. So I'll explain a little bit more about how I'm using it towards the end of the video. So be sure to stay tuned. Alright guys, I just want to briefly take you through how to get this thing connected to your phone and then over to Delta. So the first thing you want to do is the 8BitDo button here, which is located right there. That's kind of like the power or wake up button, and then you want to do your Bluetooth button at the bottom. And you can see it connected there on the screen. So you want to make sure this thing is in the Android mode. So as I said, it's not technically compatible with iOS, but it will connect to your iPhone, and then you can kind of connect it through the Delta emulator. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. So as you're in Delta, you want to go ahead and go to settings, and controllers will be the first thing that pops up. And you want to make sure it says 8BitDo micro gamepad, and it should be set up for you. Alright, so I want to play Mario Kart Super Circuit. As you guys know, throwing the shells and all relies on the shoulder button, so wanted to see how that was in the thick of a race. So we'll go with an easier race here. Pick everyone's favorite Luigi. So I think I'm gonna hold it like, try to hold it like this. Pretty sure it's the right trigger here, so I'm gonna make sure I keep that in mind. Probably run a race or two, see how it goes. All right, here we go. Okay, it was the left trigger, I forgot. But the right is this little drift, which is also useful. Alright, this is not too bad. The controls, you know, I don't know if I'm having a skill problem here. It's just super likely, but the controls feel a little more... I don't want to say they feel a little more exaggerated. I feel like I'm turning harder, though, with this D-pad here. Alright, so far I'm liking this for Mario Kart here. Or Mario Kart Super Circuit, anyway. Alright, we got second. I think I'll roll another one. So it wasn't too bad pressing those shoulder buttons. You just gotta support it at the bottom because basically it takes a lot of pressure to push it down. Ooh. You crab. Crab's always getting the best of me, you know what I'm saying? I see. And I'm gonna fall in. I do not like this level. I'm telling you guys. Do not like this level at all. I usually don't start off that poorly, though. Just kind of like wasted a lap. Controls are feeling good, though. Definitely the right hand is starting to cramp some. But we're still in fourth place. There you go. Let me dust these guys. Ooh, actually hit someone with a green shell. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, damn it. Popping shrooms. Gotta do it in Mario. Alright, not terrible, not terrible. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play some Bugs Bunny now. What I'm looking to do here is kind of pivot the D-pad. So the way I play this game is I'll be running and I just try to hit the up button once we get to the perspective door or pipe. So we'll see how it works. Might work out better on this one because... Oh, see, I'm already missing. Might work out better on this one because it's a little bit thinner. We'll see. No shoulder buttons needed here. Just good old B and the D-pad. Alright, this is working pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. It's much better than the touchpad. So the touchpad was really getting on my nerves. Like I said, if this is a quick solution... Oh, see, I'm going the wrong way now. It's a quick and cheap solution. I'm all for it. Instead of using that D-pad. Or, sorry, the touchscreen. I think I'm going to play the first 5 levels or so. Bop! There you go. Nice. So I'm getting some good ups. Getting some good ups with it. Which is nice. Oh, shoot. There we go. You know, I still don't really understand the plot of this game. Like, all Bugs Bunny's friends just captured his girl. Doesn't really say why. And then somehow collecting carrots is going to help him. I don't know. Do I mind? No. Still a fun game. Yeah, I just got murked by the coyote. Mr. Wile E. Coyote. Alright. Let's run it back. Getting some good pivot on the D-pad. So no complaints there. Come on, bro. It's the same thing happened last time. There we go. Got him. So as you guys know, Delta will also work with an Xbox controller. I've been testing that out lately. The thing being, you're not going to be bringing an Xbox controller on a flight or the train, because you'd definitely be getting looks for that. Alright, so overall with this game, I'm really liking the controls. It's much better than the touchscreen. So we'll go ahead and switch over to a little bit more of a complicated game. Turtles in Time. You guys let me know who your favorite Ninja Turtle is in the comments. So I want to play a beat 'em up here, see how it works. It's my first SNES game on Delta as well. So I'm sure you guys all play different styles, but for me this game is all about jumping up, hitting people diagonal. So I wanted to see how that was going That would go on here. Not bad at all so far. The other thing would be cool to be doing is a playthrough of... Oh, there we go. So that's working. Throw's working. Just got mashed, though. It'd be cool to do a playthrough on this game since it's got so many different types of levels. See how the controller holds up in all of those crazy levels. Stay away from this wrecking ball. You're not going to win anyway, Foot Clan. Get out of here. Oh. Thank you, April. Pizza time. So I'm liking the controls on here so far. So an advantage to the small real estate is you can get to your buttons quicker, which is good for me because I'm typically jumping and attacking in this game. Wow. Okay. I was way better at this when I was 10. Apparently. You guys ever go back and play your games and you're just like, how the hell did I play this when I was 8 years old and I can't figure it out now? Yeah, so this is definitely an advantage to have your buttons kind of super close together. They're close together, but I'm not, I'm not pressing anything I don't mean to be. I'm not double pressing anything. Let me get this pizza. Talking too much. Oh boy, oh boy, there we go. Nice. Pretty conflicted with the Ninja Turtles because red's my favorite color, but Donatello has the good weapons for me anyway. I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked by this dude. Mr. Baxter. Still remember playing this game at my sister's house. A lot of fun. Now the glue hand, there it is. I don't know, what do you guys call that thing? Ooh, there we go. I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this. Probably just wait for him to come on the ground again. Fucha! I think he's dead. There we go. All right, we beat Baxter with the 8BitDo. All right, so that was a pretty good experience. Like I said, I don't know how to hold up in a lot of these other levels, but pretty good experience with the Turtles in Time.
Next, we'll transition into how I use this for Aseprite or my pixel art on my Gameboy Studio games or my GB Studio games. So, as I showed you all before, each key on the 16 keys of the 8BitDo can be programmed for a different use, and you can map those keys however you like. So, I watched a few videos, and it's primarily used by artists. And then I remembered that I also need that function. So, the program, like I said, that I use is Aseprite, and each tool has its own hotkey within there. So this will save a lot of time to switch back and forth between those functions. So what I'm doing here in this footage is using the gamepad, the micro, to switch back and forth between the selection tool, the pencil, the rectangle, so I can be a little bit more efficient and quick with my pixel art. So by the way, this is art from a modification to a game that I'm making. It's going to be General Warfare Red vs. Black, where you need a Game Boy and a deck of cards to complete the game. So that's what I'm doing here. So the 8BitDo is definitely a versatile piece of equipment for that reason. Something that when I picked it up, I didn't really expect to use, but then as I thought about it a little more, I said, I use up a lot of time just clicking my keyboard, trying to switch back and forth between these tools. So I definitely need to add some more functions to my keypad, like undo, and I believe you can program it to do multi-button actions like Control V or Control C for copy and paste, so I'll probably look into adding that here in the future. But if you are right-handed, you can manipulate your mouse with the right hand and hold the 8BitDo in your left hand and click the keys. So I'll show you how I do that here to end out the video. I'm sure there's plenty of other uses that I haven't even thought of yet that this could be implemented with. That about wraps it up, guys. This is the 8BitDo Micro. Some of the pros I like, working with Delta Emulator. It's portable and multifunctional as well as affordable. So some of the cons with this controller, as I said right at the beginning, the R2 and L2 are hard to press, and probably with long play sessions will be uncomfortable on the hands. So this is the 8BitDo controller. Let me know what you think, and if you're thinking of trying it out. See you later.